what I've done is I've now flipped it over, looking at the outer side, and I'm overlaying the patch on the fender, and then I marked the outline. Now I'm definitely not going to cut all the way up to that. I'm going to sneak up on it, so there'll be some grinding in a minute here. Alright, I've got eye protection and ear protection. So, laying this in there, I'm going to try to match this rib to that rib, so I can see now that I need to grind a little bit back here, but not too much. Let's say a little bit more. Close though. You're right up in there. I'm going to grind that little bit off there. Actually, might be easier just to grind it off of a little bit off of the patch at this point. And I'm thinking just a touch. I also know that I can see here that this needs to be hacked right through there. Brush off the paint and so forth. Alright, I've done a little more grinding away. I think I can butt these up fairly close to each other and start tacking. This is kind of curved in that way. I want to straighten that out on the vise before I go any farther. So with a series of vise grips, I can start to hold the patch in place, and then I'll come back and do tack welds in between the patches. So doesn't quite have the So I have the welding blanket protecting the windshield and the interior of the car from any weld splatter. I also have a fire extinguisher on the table right next to the camera. So the welder's on. I've got 030 wire in here, which is a little thicker than I want, but it just is what happens to be in the welder, so I'm trimming it off. And again, I'm going to hit right here and then try to squeeze in between the vice grips. I'll probably hit here and then remove this vice grip and see what it looks like. Right there. Just keep moving to the corner. Looked on the back and I've got what appears to be good penetration. Yeah, I'm taking my ground back off again. A little tap with a hammer. Feed down as well. And it's still giving me a good sound. So there's the almost finished product. I'm going to go in with a welder and fill that hole right there. That was where everything blew out and I had to backfill it. This is all in, I guess a little bit more here will do. Well, more grinder here, which we'll do after we fill the hole with a welder there. This all out in here, finished up quite nicely. I'm happy with that. So add more weld there, a little bit more there, and then we'll grind all that flush out. All right, we're gonna call that good. All right, here's the shocker. Sanding Bondo on the door again. This better be the last time. I'm getting bored. This one needs still a little bit more than the other. Right here, a little bit of a void up in here, a little bit right there, focus, there we go, right there, and yeah, right in there. Everything else, yeah, I want to hit that with, right there's a bit of a step that I can feel. Alright, I've got some glazing and spot putty here, so may as well use it. Shove it down in there and this should sand rather easily. As well just put some in of this. Alright, sorry about the light, but just to show that I'm going to, I've got more of the paint remover here. I'm going to strip the doors so that when I strip the fender so that when I epoxy prime the doors, I can just keep shooting and epoxy prime the outside of the fender. So this is not anything new, so I'm not going to bother cluttering up the YouTube airways with video of me. You know, you refer back to an earlier video that I did where I'm stripping the doors. It's the exact same process. Just put this on, let it sit for a few, scrape it off. Make sure that you're very careful with this goo because it'll blind you. Door has been sanded. Wiped down with oil and grease remover. Here's the back side of the fender, but I've gotten paint as removed as I can. Stripper was not as successful on the fender as it was on doors. Don't know why, but anyway, took a lot of wire brushing to get it down to this point and then sanding afterwards to smooth everything out. But I'm confident that what's left on here is not gonna come off of the fender. It's good primer. Here's this door, a little bit of sanding I did on there, and then everything's been wiped down. Got the spray gun ready for shooting the epoxy primer. There's my Eastwood primer and catalyst. Got my air mask. That is, and I've got a filter back there to hold over the cup. I've got the thinner over there to clean up when I'm done. The heaters have been going. It's warm enough in here that I'm sweating. Fortunately, it was a warm day outside. So let's get to it. Makes me long for painting the car black. It's pretty darn shiny in here for some reason. Phone doesn't want to focus on shiny. Too many reflections. So there's the fender. It too, as you can see, is shiny, shiny. You can also see results of the rust that was on top, so a skim coat of filler will be necessary to smooth that out. And here's the other door. Well, black looks really good. I can't wait to get a color on it. Thanks for watching. Would love to get any comments that you have about filming, things you want to see, less that you don't want to see. And please subscribe so you'll be notified when the new videos come out. Have a nice day.